Hello, everybody. What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Hunger of the Starvarian show. I am back out of the hospital. What? Hopefully, it'll be for a long time this time. Um, ain't been on in a while. It's been over a week. So, what's up, everybody? How's your new year going? I hope everybody is doing fantastic. Ain't got a lot to talk about today. I am going to mention that crap with freaking Wizards of the Coast. What the hell? What are you doing? Come on, guys. Like, really, come on. You know, we've been playing your games forever. You've got a bunch of creative people playing your game. We're going to make our own stuff. I can't believe that you're going to throw a fit. Hey, the Fat Gamer, dude, you got to message me what your YouTube page is because I keep looking for you and I never find you. And I want to sub to you, bro. You're sub to me, I want to sub back. I'm pretty sure you got some good stuff out there. So, like, send me a link or something in chat, private chat, whatever. It don't matter. I just want to sub to you, bro. So, yeah, D&D, we're going to make our own crap up using your stuff. That's what we do. You know, we play your game. We like your game. We're going to make our own stuff. You carrying on and saying that we can't make our own stuff is just stupid. Yeah, TFT, it's good to be home. It really is. Other than that, not a lot's been going on with me. I did spend like 8 or 9 days in a hospital or something like that. I don't know. It's been a few days. My stomach is trying to digest itself, which is neat. And I've got some ulcers in my intestine, not actually in my stomach, which is also really neat. So we're working on that. I didn't need surgery this time, which is awesome because last thing I want is another stomach surgery. That would make it 28 in 2 years, 3 years, starting February. So, yeah. So, I do not have a lot going on. I haven't been able to play Final Fantasy while I was in the hospital because the Wi Fi is not that good. I did go on a couple of lives a couple of times just to say hey and let everybody know that I was still alive. I did break 1,000 subs, which is insane. I don't know how because, you know, the people who watch my videos know that I really have no content at all. So, yeah, 1,000 subs is insanity for me. When people like Shadow has so many quality videos. I mean, Shadow just has a lot of amazing videos, and he's at like 500, 600 subs, and I've got 1,000. And I don't even do videos. I do some live streams every once in a while. So I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, I broke 1,000. It's insane. One of the my nurses at the hospital was my 1,000th sub. So Justin Thor was my very first sub, and a nurse at the hospital was my 1,000th sub. And it's insane. It is insane. But I'm going to say if you're on, like my video, please, because likes are awesome. If you are, then I know you're subscribed to my video. I didn't know that the GM's Alcove was doing a video, so I'm not going to be able to compete with him. I got 4 people watching. Yeah, that's 3 more than I figured. So, yeah, there's not a lot going on with my life. Thanks, TFG. Mage's Musing. Hello, buddy. How are you doing? Hope all is well with you. Yeah, charisma's not a dump stat for me. Constitution's not either, because all the stuff that's wrong with me, I'm still alive. Jeez. Constitution is like rocking with me. All right, I am going to paste the link if anybody wants to come on and chat about anything. Well, I had breakfast earlier. I had me a mess of fried scrambled eggs and some sausage. I got home from the hospital last night around 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I slept until 10:30 this morning because I always sleep after I get out of the hospital. I mean, because they tell you to get lots of rest while you're in the hospital, but it's hard to do that when they're coming in there like every hour, you know. And they had come in with me because I was having a bleeding issue, bleeding internally and externally, which is always fun. So of course they got to come in, they got to, check my vitals and take blood every 7-8 hours just to monitor my hemoglobin to make sure that I don't need a blood transfusion, which luckily for me, I didn't need one this time. So yeah, that was good. I did get to talk to DM James. He's doing better, just getting used to his medication. It was great to see him put out a video this week while I was in the hospital. And what else is going on? I did send Shadow a message to tell and gave him this link, and it shows that he's on. I wish I could there's a thing where you can start a voice call with Shadow. I'm voice calling Shadow on Discord. Let's see how that works. You're going to look at his phone and be like, what the heck's going on? I'm not answering this. Did he answer? I don't know. It's showing that I'm talking on there. Hey, Shadow, look at your messages, man. I sent you a link to a YouTube video. It's Wednesday. I'm late. I did not know that you could call people on Discord. This is hilarious. See if it annoys him enough to get him to look. It is Wednesday. Shadow, hey bro, I'll be there. Yeah. Hey Bo, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Caught your show the other day. Pretty freaking awesome, dude. I think that was you. If not, I'm mistaken, but I've been on a lot of morphine lately. And yeah. Shadow slacking today. What is Wizardly 123 pound at exclamation mark? Somebody jumped on the left. That's weird. Yeah, my little boy. Is he watching me? Gemini Wolf is my daughter. She's a good girl. She is. I'm very proud of her. And she lets my son, Connor, we call him Connor Butt. This tattoo is all his. It is a autism sleep because my boy is high spectrum nonverbal autistic. And he gets to watch me on YouTube, which makes him happy. Hey, baby boy. Hey, Shadow, what's up, buddy? It says he's here, but he might be joshing us. Give a shout out to my ex-wife for buying me coffee this morning. Thank you. She messages me every morning when I'm home. And she's like, hey, you drive up, you drive us, I'll buy coffee. I'm like, hell yeah, coffee, boy. Today I'm trying something different because I always get the Trenta chocolate cream cold brew from Starbucks. But today they had pistachio cream cold brew. And I'm like, ooh, pistachio. You know, that's all you had to say. You son of a bitch, I'm in, you know. So I tried that. And it's good. And now, am I going to switch from my chocolate cream cold brew? Nah, because well, chocolate and coffee goes good together. Me and my ex-wife actually lived next door to each other. TFG. Hey, Cal, what's up, buddy? Yeah, we live next door to each other. I actually crash at her dad's house when I'm not in the hospital. And we hang out. What are you doing, Shadow?
Trying to get a device to work, man. Sorry about the delay. I was charging one device and I was watching some videos on my other device, which is my old device, but I'm here now. So how the hell are you, man?
I'm good. I didn't need surgery, which is awesome.
Hell yeah. Surgery sucks.
Yeah, I've had like 20 something of them since 2020. Filady, what's up, buddy? Yeah, look who's out of the hospital and who's home. Woo!
Hell yeah, bro. That's freaking awesome. My son is going to be so happy.
Now, there's a chance that I'm going to need surgery.
Yeah.
I'm trying to postpone that.
Whatever it takes, man.
The lady just got home from surgery. I hope you are well. I hope the surgery.
Yeah, no, you did. I didn't know, bud.
Yeah. I've got gastric erosion, which pretty much means that my acid is eating my stomach. So it's causing some internal bleeding. And everybody knows that I have an ileostomy because I had to have 97% of my colon removed a few years ago from a really bad infection called C. diff. But I've got a stoma now, which means I've got a piece of my small intestine coming out on my stomach, and I have a bag, and that my butt is just for show. That has ulcers inside of it now, so that's causing the bleeding and the loss of my hemoglobin to be down really bad. So they did a couple of scopes, one through my throat, one through my stoma.
Oh, man, that sounds painful right there.
Nah, they give you that milk of amnesia, that white stuff through your IV, and you're asleep regardless. It's like they were giving it to me the last time. I had the last probe day before yesterday. Yeah, and they're like, "Here goes the medicine." I was like, "I'm gonna still wait. You can't put me to," you know. Yeah, yeah, the milk of amnesia. Because I can't pronounce that.
Amnesia.
But
hey, what's up, Bo?
But yeah, they checked it out, and I've got a course watch to check the bleeding. And if I start feeling really lightheaded or having bad stomach cramps or anything, then I've got to go back to the hospital. They're going to end up doing another surgery on me, which stomach surgeries are the worst because you really don't realize how much you use your stomach for everything until there's a big cut down the middle of it. And then you're like, oh. But yeah, I talked about the D&D crap, Wizards of the Coast. I just said that I can't believe that they're carrying on like this when their game is.
Well, they're not being run by people who love the product. It's that simple. They're people. They're run by people who love money more than anything else.
Their game is targeted toward creative people. People who are going to be into D&D and stuff like that are going to have imagination. They're going to have to be creative. And, what do they expect creative people to do?
Go create elsewhere. That's what's going to happen.
Exactly. I feel, money's great. I love money. But I'm not going to, ruin, my freaking relationship with the people who buy my stuff over money. I mean, shit, that's how you lose money.
Yeah, I'm a love over gold kind of guy. So, yeah, I'm very fortunate and very blessed, but I just don't. Yeah, exactly, Flady. Without the other stuff, it's pointless,
Yeah. So
I came
up with a solution.
So did I yesterday. Did you see my video?
Yeah. And mine I came up with the other night, and I put it online on somebody's live chat. From now on, and when I start to make an adventure or anything, I'm going to put, this is fan fiction for Dungeons and Dragons.
They're still going to go after. They're going to go after everything, dude. It's not just about money; it's about control and power. They want to silence any negativity. That's the big thing right now. Anything that says that
you put fan fiction on it, and then they're like, "Should we go after it? Because it's fan fiction. It's not real. Should we do it?" And then this is fan fiction. This happened for a fan.
We're probably going to see a lot more evil coming our way from these people who want complete control over the hobby. They want a monopoly. They want to squash and kill all the other games. They're going after. They're going to be doing a lot of the same things Games Workshop has done in the past. You'll have to sign contracts to be able to sell their products. They're going to go after YouTube, threatening to sue YouTube, and then YouTube will purge a whole lot of content creators out there. We'll probably have to take some of our AD&D videos down, and I'll just put them on Rumble. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I
like what the Fat Gamer says here. I got just enough money to live out the rest of my life. Not comfortably, but I could live out the rest of my life. I've got enough money to live out the rest of my life comfortably if I die next week. If I die like next Thursday, I'm good.
Yeah, well, well, the thing is that the honest, the cold hard facts is that D&D is, the 800-pound gorilla. It's the original game. It's, I'm surprised that Wizards isn't trying to copyright role-playing games, or role-playing or some variation of that ideology, that concept, so that they can, kill other games as well. That's their ultimate goal is complete control and power over, fantasy gaming.
Yeah, I like what Flady's saying here. General question with this OGL thing. Do you think it's best to just make our own stuff, or can we trust other smaller companies looking at the Open V6 system? I think it's time that we start separating, like Bo says right here, we need to start separating ourselves from D&D. A lot of the stuff that's on D&D is uncopyrightable. You cannot copyright works. You can't copyright elves. You can't copyright mythological creatures. So we could, as a whole, come up with our own game, our own gaming system, and put it out there. And D&D could do jack and or shit about it. They could.
Probably, but the trick is what we kind of have to do is just take a break for a year. Yeah. Watch Hasbro panic when everybody says, nope, we're out. Nobody goes to the movie. Nobody buys the products. Nobody buys the toys, and let them get stuck with a whole bunch of stuff they can't sell because no one's buying it. Everybody's buying other games. I'm not going to tell you what game to play, whatever. But just take a break for a year. Instead of doing fantasy, let's all do sci-fi for a year. Let's bring sci-fi back into the mainstream. Before D&D, it was mostly science fiction. Other than Tolkien and a few other writers, science fiction had a much greater appeal because it was closer to reality than fantasy.
So what we do is there's a chance that they could copyright the Poly Extra dice because they came out for D&D. So what we do,
maybe not, but they could try.
What we do is we come up with the Dice 6 system. Hey, Michael, what's happening? At Mage's Musings, they just would need to hassle YouTube like other entertainment companies do. Think of the copyright nightmare creators are facing. Yeah, we already face a lot of stuff. And I'm not saying that I'm a big creator or anything, but as somebody who does silly little videos every once in a while and does talk about Wizards of the Coast, we really do have to be careful about what we make our videos over, because there is a chance, like Shadow was just saying, that somebody can come in and be like, boom, nope, you can't have this video no more. Boop, denied, get rid of it. And it's like with me, I don't think of it as that big of a deal because I make videos for fun. I'm not out here trying to make money or do anything silly. This isn't my job. For fun. But for people who spend all that time in editing and stuff like Shadow and Sony does his editing and stuff.
No editing. Never.
Guys, they do all that hardcore stuff. That is a big way. I mean, and then they get their video where their video gets flagged and they have to take it down. That is a big hassle for a lot of people. And I can understand, and I can see, like Shadow was saying, a lot of the creators out there. And let me say this again, I don't consider myself a creator because I'm not creating shit. I'm just talking BS on silly videos. A lot of people are going to have, flagged over their videos. And that is going to be a hassle for a lot of people having to take those down. I did a video on Weird Al Yankovic, Amish Paradise. It was a reaction video. And it was up for like 45 minutes before it got flagged and taken down. Did it bother me? Like, oh my God, my video's gone on. But no, I thought it weird that I was getting flagged on a Weird Al Yankovic song for a copyright infringement because I was playing it and reacting to it. But yeah, I didn't get butthurt, but it was a pain in the ass. And I think that that's what a lot of the creators are going to have to put up with. Can I release this video that I've worked 4 days on? Or is it going to get flagged? Am I going to have to take it down? Should I even bother making this video? And you're going to have people who are going to stop making content because they don't want it to get flagged. So what we do, we come up with a Dice 6 system, Shadow.
I'm not about systems. I've got my books already. I don't need another system. But I am, my son and I, we are going to be working on world settings and campaign ideas that will be system agnostic, like the company we're going to create, and use them for whatever game you want. We're going to make it so that it's a sci-fi and fantasy. Like each book will be, part sci-fi, part fantasy, and you can run it either way you want, and apply it to whatever system you want. The way we're going to write it will exclude any mechanics, and as for copywriting dice, they can't copyright random number generators on your device. So if you want to just in your game system say use a random generator, knowing full well that every gamer out there except me has hundreds of dice, use your own dice. Okay, don't buy any more. Watch all those companies get pissed off at Wizards of the Coast for making it impossible for them to sell dice. They're gonna spend that $3 billion war chest real quick when they're going after everybody, because that's what they want to do is get the monopoly on the hobby. And provided they don't use that money to bribe judges, the judges are going to have to rule in our favor, or the copyright laws across the globe are going to go down the toilet, and places like China will just make all this stuff and we'll just buy it all from China.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start working on a Dice 6 system. I'm going to make a system. I'm going to make a rule set. Putting this out there, and I'm not that freaking creative, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to come up with a Dice 6 system for people to play with in their games. It's going to be simple, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be free. I'm going to put it out there for everybody to use. If you like it, use it. I'm looking at the next 6 months. I will come out with this for free for everybody to use. If you don't like it, don't use it. But if we're all tired of Wizards of the Coast and their bullshit, I like an Dice 6 system anyway. I like a skill-based game.
Look at Traveler before you do anything. Traveler could be.
I played Traveler since it's come out, pretty much. Me and DM.
Same here. And
not a class-based system. It's not going to be a class-based system. It's going to be a skill-based system where you're not going to have a fighter. Yes, you can be able to use a sword while you cast spells. Are you going to be as good as the guy who puts all his skills in sword work? No. But you will be able to do it because you know what? Gandalf used a sword, damn it.
Right. I think there have been a few systems that allowed that to be a thing. I think HeroQuest was one of them, where your wizards could use swords. It only makes sense, everybody's going to go back to the whole Gandalf thing, but why the hell not? To be perfectly honest, it's anybody can learn how to do anything, and it's a matter of what they put their time and focus on. You can do two things at once. We all have, like, especially in the modern world, we have, all these different skills, and, unless you were, for example, a career military or something like that, where you really focused, decades of your life in one occupation, you're going to have all kinds of weird skills. Look at the people out there that, have, these weird hobbies, or SCA, people who are in the SCA and learn how to use all these weapons, but then their day job is sitting at a computer desk,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to mess with them in a sword fight. I'm a gun guy to begin with. So bring your sword to a gunfight, and, we can have that discussion. It'd be hard to hear over the report of my Desert Eagle, but we can have that conversation.
You've not lived until you've seen DM James, big burly, while we were in the SCA, big old hunk of muscles, sitting at a freaking sewing machine, sewing garb to wear at the SCA event and making armor at the sewing machine. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure. You would not expect DM James to be sitting behind a sewing machine for hours on end, making clothing and armor, but there it was. Yeah, Shadow does look a little bit like a lumberjack.
Hey guys, come on. Have you not heard this whole year I've been chopping firewood, chainsawing it, not chopping it. It's so freaking hard that my brand new axe literally bounces off it. But yeah, I've been doing quite a bit of lumberjacking here in rainy California. Unfortunately, all my wood's now freaking soaked, and I'm out of firewood. I got enough firewood for one night, and it's still wet. So maybe tomorrow I'll be able to cut some more wood before the storms hit us again this weekend. But yeah, I've been doing that. Bo, I like point buy systems. Unfortunately, Champions was just didn't like it. But I like the concept. Die mechanics personally. I need a +2 axe. Yeah, actually, I need a Vorpal axe because this wood has been drying. I think it's maple or something like this. Whatever the hardest wood on the planet is, prior to being petrified, that's what I have. Because I got it dumped in my yard, and then I didn't touch it for 2 years because I didn't need it. Personally, I like percentiles because everything in life, it really is a percentile world. We talk in percentages. You got a 10% chance to do this. Yeah, pretty much, Mark. Percentiles just it's easier to do the math. You got a 20% chance to do this. It's just that in games, Shauna was talking about this earlier. You've got a 40% chance to hit or shoot. That's retarded. You don't pick up a gun unless you've got a 60 to 90% chance of hitting the target in combat. That's otherwise you're really not trained. You're just picking up a gun, or an axe or a sword, and you don't know how to use it. And yeah, maybe. Yeah, 25 disagree. See, exactly. Exactly, it's just in 5% increments. But they're gonna, if they're gonna try to, copyright the D20, then let them keep it. Here, keep all your D20s. We'll just use, D10s and a D6 like we did in the old days, or percentage. I know people just got into the D6 thing because that's what we had from they were the first dice, in games that we're all familiar with. Parcheesi and Monopoly and shit like that. I just like thinking in percentiles, so why not just use them? That way you get to roll 2 dice every time, and then you get all those arguments. Oh, the red die's high. No, the white die's high. Personally, I just make you roll 1 die at a time so you can't cheat, because I cannot tell you how many times I've seen my players like, oh, no, the other one's high. You have bull crap. Or you get the ones that are, one's got the first set, and the other one's only got 1 to 10 on it. Yeah, I actually have a wood splitter, a wedge that I cut the wood, a couple inches deep. Then I just go at it with the sledgehammer and the wedge, just to save time on my chainsaw. Like I said, I've got all the games in the world I need. I've got more than 300 role-playing games in my collection, and every day somebody's trying to push another one on me, and I'm like, so basically I'm just going to collect games? No. You name it, I probably have it.
You're going to have another one. I come up with mine, Shadow.
Certainly. As long as I get an autographed copy, that's what I tell everybody. It's like, okay, you want me to buy your game? Well, I need an autographed copy. I'll pay for it, but if you can't autograph it for me, I'm not doing it. What's the point? At the very least, I'll have something in my collection, which is vast, that's actually, personalized.
Personalized from Hungar.
Right.
Well, with Hungar or with my real name?
Speaking of the giveaway, I'm still waiting on Emperor's Choice to get me the free books, because I don't want to have to make multiple trips to the post office and send a book when I can send a book and miniatures or lots of books at once. So just bear with me, guys. If you're watching this, I will get your stuff out to you. I always keep my promises, even when people don't want me to.
I'm in no hurry for a bunch of free shit that I won.
Yeah, well, I'm in a hurry for you to get it and read it, so that you can go, oh yeah, Arduin is the greatest freaking thing since the original TSR put out their original stuff.
Is Arduin part of the whole shit that's going on with Wizards of
Nope. Arduin's their own company. It's actually Emperor's Choice, and they hate all this woke crap, and they're doing their their own system. It started out as a supplement to D&D back when the original white box came out. It was intended to be a supplement, but Gary Gygax got butthurt because it was doing so well, and was doing it without permission. And so David A. Hargrave said, okay, fine, I'll just make my own game system, and proceeded to space it out through the course of many a book until he passed away in the 80s, which was a tragic loss for the gaming community, because he left behind literally, from what I'm told, like hundreds of complete modules ready to go, thousands of pieces of artwork, and just all kinds of stuff. So after Bloody Arduin comes out, either late this year or early next year, then they will be pumping out even more of his original work that's been retooled and cleaned up, etc. Because it's 40 plus years old, sitting in boxes. We will get a system that has actual teeth and balls, a system that will not shy away from some facts that the woke crowd hates. If men are stronger than women, that's going to be a thing. The slaver class is coming back. In original Arduin, if you wanted to run a slaver, there was a profession called a slaver, and you could play that evil son of a bitch to your heart's content. If you wanted to run
the game, we're not gonna. My game will not have alignments. You're either good or bad, but people change. I could do good stuff all day long and then decide that I'm going to steal $500,000. That does not make me evil. That just makes me a human.
Here's the thing. There are some professions, let's say, like the paladin, that I think should absolutely adhere to a code of ethics.
Well, yeah, ethics are different than alignment, though. Your character will have ethics, but my game is not going to have classes. It's going to be a skill-based game. So you're gonna alignment. It's going to be a simple 2x6 system. You're going to have your stats. The stats are going to be similar, but not like D&D. And you're going to get bonuses on your stats. Men are going to be stronger than women, but women are going to be inherently more agile than men because they are. It's going to be kind of real life. There's going to be different races, but they're all pretty much going to be the same. You're going to play a race for, more like a pill. Okay, my character wants to be a dwarf. It's going to be more like a statics than what have you. But yeah, it's going to be a simple game that you're going to be able to play on any freaking type of style you want to play. If you want to play sci-fi, you'll be able to play sci-fi. If you want to play fantasy, you'll be able to be fantasy. It's going to be a generic rule system.
Real quick, mages, I can explain that because I'm assuming a bit here with your comment. Most women want to play women and not how do I put this, ogreish women, and therefore they want the difference. They don't want to overpower the men, because they're gigantic freaking ogreish. You can't actually tell that they're women. There are people out there that weren't born with a, let's say, high comeliness stat, but most people want to have a character with a high comeliness stat. You know what I'm saying? I'm guessing that's part of the psychology before this woke nonsense took a hold, and people don't know what to use, what bathroom to use, and for the most part, sucks to be them. I'm gonna flaunt my toxic masculinity everywhere I get. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Good to see you again.
Hello.
Okay, you guys argue. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. Take that phone call. How you doing, man?
I'm okay. I was eating. That's why I didn't jump on earlier. I told Hunger earlier that I had a bout of insomnia last night. Didn't get to sleep till like 5 a.m. So next thing I know, it's noon and I'm waking up. No, on the female strength limit thing, it's not quite so deep. It's just the women in question were like, yeah, that makes sense. Women generally have less muscle mass. That was it. That was the end of the discussion. But right, I don't actually use it. It was funny. It was a discussion that came up, and it's because I pointed out in the books, women have the by the book, the limit, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. But it's like,
just like hobbits, they shouldn't have 20 strengths. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, they do.
Because physics don't work that way.
Halflings have a strength limit too. Yeah, there's racial and gender limits. I don't use the gender limits. I use the racial ones. One of the reasons is I don't want the arguments for the people who are going to complain, but B, it's like in the wash, it has never come up. Like most of the men who roll up high strength characters never achieve the female limits because I use the average. I don't let people just take the maximum strength. So even the warriors, they come in usually at the 16, 17 range. So it's in years of playing, it's just literally never come up. So why make a thing of it? Right.
Yep. Totally. It's just going to bite them in the ass, everything woke turns to shit, and we're seeing the beginning of it, and hopefully this year will be the end of it. It's not doing anybody any good. It's the big corporations are losing money by the truckloads, and they're seeing it, and they're like, we've got these stockholders who want profit, and we've got these whiny little bitches out there who want equity, and that's not very profitable. And the big companies, they rule the world, regardless of what we may want to believe, at least in my opinion. And it's all going to go down the toilet this year, and we'll look back on it like, yeah, that was just another horrible era to live through. Glad it's over. And there's the men's room, there's the women's room. Pick one, and you better pick the right one, because nobody cares. The minority that does care, the microscopic percentage of the population that cares are just a bunch of whiny bitches, and they know how to whine and bitch really loudly, and we need to stop listening. It's that simple. When nobody cares, what are they going to do? They're going to stop buying products. Oh, okay, so they lost 2% of their gross annual income. Bummer. They'll make it up elsewhere. It's not like inflation hasn't raked them in crap tons of money with the forced lockdowns and the shutting down of all the small businesses, so that places like Amazon and Walmart can be, the monopoly. Where I live, there's literally nowhere else to go. There's literally nowhere else to go but Walmart.
That killed me at the beginning of the pandemic when Amazon Jeff Bezos put out the request. He's like, yes, help my employees, and tried to start a donation fund for his employees. And I was sitting there thinking about it. It's like, okay, Jeff Bezos at the time had a personal wealth of something like 125 billion. And, and I think Amazon had 800,000 global employees. So it's like, doing the math, it's like if he had paid out of pocket to support his people, not even Amazon, the company's holdings, I'm talking his personal wealth. Yep. It would have taken, he could have supported them for 5 years and still been a billionaire. And I'm like, yeah, screw him. Screw him and his donation fund.
Yep. We unfortunately do have to use Amazon from time to time, because there's literally no mom and pop shops in existence where I live. There are no bookstores. There are no vitamin shops. Vitamin shops, I don't know about you, but vitamin shops and gyms were the very first thing to close down. The one thing that people needed, to stay healthy, and they were the first to go out of business. Imagine that. And I mean, not just close their doors, but the very first day of the lockdown, they were emptying the vitamin shops completely for good, permanently. Said, forget it, we're done. We're just
friend of mine's a personal trainer, and he went through that because the gym he worked at closed, and he had a non-competition clause, so he wasn't allowed to take private clients. It was extremely frustrating for him.
Well, look at what they did in Australia. They were literally not allowed to exercise for more than an hour a day, period. It was against the law. From what I hear, I could be wrong. James L., if you're out there, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I heard literally that if they caught you exercising, even inside your own house with triple masks, in a hermetically sealed room for more than an hour, they would take your ass away.
Yeah, I'd want to look in on that. That sounds a little on the exaggerated side.
I may be being a little hyperbolic.
I hadn't heard one way or the other, so I don't know. I mean, I guess anything is possible, right?
Yeah, well, they had concentration camps, and we have them here. I don't know if you know that, but they're already in existence. The FEMA camps here are in the hundreds of thousands that you just don't know where they are because they're disguised and hidden out in the middle of nowheres. But I've seen multiple clips of just tent cities, perfectly white, uninhabited tent cities for acres, just sitting there waiting to be used. So,
what do you think the rent is like?
Mandatory. Yeah. But with the whole Wizards of the Coast thing, I haven't bought a Wizards of the Coast anything except a couple of miniatures in the last couple of decades. I used to buy Magic cards because I worked at a game shop, and it was part of the job to be able to be competitive and whip the pants off the customers when they came into the shop, to get them to want to buy more cards. And I haven't bought them in decades, but I buy a couple of miniatures. But I looked at their game system and didn't like it.
I run a 5e game. I'm in boycott mode now. Like the bullshit with the OGL is kind of like, it doesn't affect me directly because I don't
other than the ascending armor class and turning it basically, to me it looks more like Palladium with a class and skill based system with a D20 mechanic instead of percentile, which is really the same freaking thing, based on your stat, blah, blah, blah. I don't see how it's all that much better than original first or second AD&D, other than you get a lot more chances to not die.
You'll never get me arguing that 5th Ed is better than AD&D, but the core chassis isn't bad, but as you say, there's how you said you had 300 games on your shelf. It's like, you could probably spit and hit anyone that's probably better. So it's not like they're the only game in town. They've got the big brand name, but they're not the only game in town. And we can always go default to old systems. There is certainly a lot of panic and people thinking that it's like, okay, D&D is going away now. Old school games are going away now. They'll never be allowed. It's like, well, you can't. The Wizards can't wave a wand and take away what exists, right?
Yeah,
maybe companies. Sorry, they call the Coast Guard paddle boater. Okay, well, I guess I. So I'm trying to read the comments here. They can't. Wizards can't come along and take away what already exists. And there are books in circulation. How many hundreds of thousands of OSR books in circulation? They don't just go away, even if the company can't produce more. The stuff
but again, I don't see the point in buying any of the OSR books other than AD&D. Why do I need to buy Castles and Crusades or Axe or any of these other games when one?
But somebody new might. Somebody new getting into the game, and it's like, hey,
let's try this game. That's why I have 4 players handbooks right now, and I'm buying more of AD&D. I'm actually going to be buying. I'm not going to stop buying players handbooks, Dungeon Master's Guide. The original 10 hardbacks of AD&D. If I have 20 copies of each, I still will keep buying them. I'm just going to stockpile them and hand them out to people that it's like. I keep hearing this high Gygaxian, and I read the Player's Handbook the other day, and I'm like, this is perfectly understandable English. There's nothing overly complex or even vaguely, unintelligible. It's all perfectly understandable.
It's easily
the Player's Handbook.
The biggest issue with First E is the layout. It's not well edited, and as I get older, the small type is starting to grate on me. I got to put on my glasses.
Well, I'll agree with the DMG, but the Player's Handbook is perfectly laid out.
It's pretty clear. Yeah, it's pretty clear.
There's absolutely, other than the fact that you might want to use your Unearthed Arcana to get the new stuff. Well, that's why it was called Unearthed Arcana, because it was new stuff. Great name, and it had new stuff because they had nowhere else to put it. They didn't want to remake the Player's Handbook and include all that stuff and a new DMG, which had they done that would have been just fine too. But that was prior to second edition, where as second edition just, hacked out what they didn't like because they were afraid of the satanic panic and the titties, which, come on, who doesn't like a nice pair of titties? Okay. Just saying, that was one of the great things about the Player's Handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide, the Monster Manual as a kid, was just like, there was a couple of pictures in there. You're like, yeah, okay. I'm 14, I'm definitely going to own these books. It was just part of the appeal as a kid. We could buy this and be like, I'm not buying it for the titties, but, that page is, a little more worn than the others, and it really wasn't that much. It was maybe 2 or 3 images, and one of them was only side boob. So, I mean, shut up, right? But the DMG, it was a little, rambly, but so was Arduin. And in, my elder years, I kind of like the fact that it was just that raw and just that, organic. That's the way it came to the guy's head, and that's the way he put it out. And back then we could absorb it all and find it if we needed it, but it was just it was all part of the charm of it. When my son and I do our books, we're not even going to be looking at color art. It's just going to be black and white.
Gygax codified it. If a player looked in the DMG, they deserve an honorable death. It's in the rules.
Yep. And that's, that was part of what, got me started is I played a game and I died and I'm like, okay, I want to play more. And the DM wouldn't let me look in the player's handbook. Okay. He wouldn't. And I'm like, well, screw you. I spent 2 weeks saving up by cutting lawns and doing chores and doing everything I could. It took me 2 weeks to save up for the player's handbook. Mind you, I was getting $250 a lawn. And it took me 2 weeks to save up for the player's handbook. As soon as I got the player's handbook, my DM was so furious that I went and I managed to cut that time to only 3 weeks to get my Dungeon Master's Guide. When he saw that, it said, fine, you're Dungeon Mastering. And that was it. I can't say I never, but I Dungeon Mastered for, decades as the Eternal Dungeon Master from that point on. And, he was actually pissed because I was better at it than him. And I've never, looked back and thought, what, as TM James would say, what are you doing with your life? I'm having the time of it. And I'm not going to let some big company tell me how I'm going to have my fun.
Yeah, I'm more of a player than a DM. I do DM, but I play more than I do DM. And, they're not going to tell me what to do. They're not.
And it's sure as hell not coming in for my books. If they're knocking on my door, it's not for my books. I'm just saying, if that's what if the thought police come to my door and say, we want your books, they're going to get something else instead. That day's never going to happen. They're just going to try to shame us and put out these PBS articles and other things saying, look out for these books in your kid's collection. Who watches PBS? Certainly the parents don't watch it unless they've got little tykes, that are watching Sesame Street. Don't watch Sesame Street. Don't let your kids watch Sesame Street because the horror stories I could tell you about what goes on there. Don't let your kids watch that. No, just don't. It's not going to work. It's going to backfire. At best, the one D&D business model is going to kill the company. They're wanting to monetize the players, the cheapest people in the damn hobby. I kid you not.
As a player, you don't buy shit. You just.
I can tell you, I've got 2 players that literally have been in my game for 25 years. They don't own a single book. They can barely find their character sheet half the time, and we've been playing together for 25 years. I've got another player who's got more books than I do when it comes to one game.
Later, Bo.
That'd be Palladium, but we don't really play that game anymore, much to his.
Have fun at class. Stuff.
Take care, Bo. We'll see you soon, probably tonight on Gatekeepers, which thank God we're not talking about this on Gatekeepers, but unfortunately we are going to beat this dead horse on Table Breakers. So if you come and watch us on Table Breakers, you'll probably not hear me say much other than not my monkeys, not my circus. Well, fuck them. Can we talk about something else?
The only thing I require my players to pitch in on is food.
And well, dice. They got to have their own damn dice. Yeah. I don't want their Cheeto fingers on my dice and messing up with the mojo. I mean, I've only got, I literally, up until this Christmas, I had 20 dice in my collection. That was it, 20. And I just got myself a new set of dice because I needed that little dice tower for the giveaway because I just wanted to have something to control the percentile rolls for that giveaway. And the dice tower was the lamest dice tower I've ever seen, but I thought it was going to be a little better. But for, it's like $10-15. I got a set of dice and a goofy dice tower, chalk it up as a business.
Did you ever look into GameStop? They have the Demon Idol dice tower from the D&D.
Yeah, I've been looking for that. I really want that one really, really bad, but I just can't find one. I paid.
I ordered it when it was released, and the next day it was sold out. So it's like I luckily, I just noticed it in the window it was available. Now it's in Canada, but I thought in the US it was probably a little more available.
I'll look again after we talk here, because I really want that. Not only do I want the dice tower, there's also a company that makes the miniature of it, for your gaming table. That's an actual miniature, and it comes with the characters and everything from the scene. And it's I forget what prices. Prices are relevant. If they doubled the price, I'd still buy it right now. That is the only dice tower you should own, unless you make one yourself, and then kudos to you, because if you make your own stuff, that's great.
Sean,
Hold
I
on
have
a
a
second.
question for you.
Chewy.
Yep.
It's about Canada. What's up with these no-name products you got where you get mayonnaise and it just says mayonnaise on it? I heard those were the best things in Canada.
Which what are you specifically referring to?
Like the generic stuff that you can buy in your grocery store in Canada.
Well, we have a couple. Like different companies have different no-name brands. Like there's No Frills, there's No Name, there's Essentials, things like that.
No name exactly.
Okay.
Where it's a yellow can that just says cola. Are those?
Yep. Okay, that's No Name. Yeah.
Are they good?
No. I haven't bought an actual no-name brand product since I was a kid. There are others like I think Metro, which is one of the major food chains here. They have one called Irresistibles. They're pretty good. That's their generic product. Equality, I think they still exist. They did a good cheese. So I mean, different products will have different degrees of quality. But no name quality, No Name was always could never eat it.
That's awesome.
That's funny because that's all we buy, and my family does not even notice. My wife's from Mexico. My son has grown up on it, and if obviously there's some things I don't buy, like generic tuna or stuff like that, but like spaghetti sauce and things like that. It's the generic brand, and
I buy Dolphin unsafe tuna.
Because the No Name, as far as I understand, not that I've done a deep dive on this subject, but they basically outsource to different companies, and they'll buy from different sources each time, or wherever they can get the cheapest, right? They don't manufacture their own; they buy sort of the cast off of existing companies. And then they package the No Name on it, and off they go. So that's why the quality varies, even among the same product. You might buy No Name spaghetti sauce, and it'll be amazing one time, and then the next jar you buy is garbage.
No, I've been buying the same brand of spaghetti sauce for going on 20 years, and it's always the same. My family, absolutely loves my spaghetti and meatball recipe, and it's been the same for 20 years.
I'm talking specifically about the companies that outsource, right? The No Frills to No Name things. He was asking about what we have in Canada. So I don't know again what the process is for companies producing in the States. So there are different food laws too.
Right. From my understanding, here in the States, most of the generic companies are actually owned by the bigger companies, and it's like almost the identical product. They just know that certain kinds of people
will pay for the name. Yeah.
Right. And won't buy the generic, and other people, it's funny because like potato chips here, that was a big issue for my family during the pandemic. We always buy the generic chips because they're half the price and they're identical to everything else that we would normally buy at twice the price. They were always sold out. Okay. The generic, regular potato chips were always sold out. And I asked, somebody at the supermarket why, and they said, well, they're not. We're not allowed to put them on the shelf because no one's buying the other brands. So we only stock the name brands, hoping that you guys will buy them instead.
They got to do what they got to do. Like, I eat a lot of ramen because, it tastes good and my body digests it.
Right. And
I buy the
cheap as hell, and it's cheap as hell. And, when we were all in college, we all did it for weeks and months on end so that we could, afford beer.
Mm-hmm. But I buy the stuff that you can put in the ramen to make it a lot better, like the oyster sauce and the soy sauce. the fish sauce and the freaking sesame oil. You put a little bit of everything of that like that in your ramen, and it's like 1,000 times better. And a bottle of it will last you for 6 months. But let's talk about games.
Making food is a game. Roll your cooking skill there, Hungar.
Yeah, I'm amazed. Every time I talk with certain people, the conversation always goes to food. I don't know why. It's just kind of a funny phenomenon.
Well, because I'm in the middle of eating because I had to take some medicine, and the medicine I have to take, I have to eat with food. So I made me a bowl of ramen.
Good for you, man.
Fair enough. I'm digesting my steel cut oats.
Nice. I wish I could eat oats.
Yeah, I had bacon and sausage for breakfast. It's Wednesday. That's my family. My son and I. Every Wednesday we have like a better breakfast than the regular week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday we have like cereal or something like that, and then Wednesday it's like, okay, middle of the week we're gonna have bacon, sausage, eggs.
I just had a big bowl of curry ramen.
I have never had anything with the word curry in it in my entire life. That's how
you're missing out.
Depending how strong it is. I'm not a fan of strong curry, but if it's a mild kind of a flavoring, then yeah, it can be nice.
Yeah. I don't even know. I can't even imagine what it tastes like. I have no clue what it is, what it's made out of, what it tastes like.
Just another spice,
Yeah, but is it meat? Is it tomato sauce? Is it pasta? Is it a vegetable? I don't even know.
The details I couldn't tell you. I just know that's the spice that goes on some food. Sometimes it's a little strong.
It's not even like a soup or a sandwich. It's just a spice.
As far as I know, yeah. I'm not an expert on food, but yeah.
Oh, okay. That's weird. I always thought it was like soup. Awkward silence.
No. Sorry, I'm just I'm doing a quick research here. Yeah, my mistake. It's not just a spice. It's part of it's a meal. So, I will retract anything I've said out of ignorance.
No worries. I probably will never try it. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to food. If it takes longer to cook it than to eat it, I don't want to put in the time. There are a few meals, holidays and hamburgers and a few things like that I make, on special occasions that I'll go to the effort. I'll make a full turkey and all the trimmings or baby back ribs or something like that. But generally, I should say, it takes me 5 minutes to make dinner and everybody's happy and nobody complains. And
when I'm in the hospital, I eat cheeseburgers for lunch and dinner. I eat cheeseburgers for breakfast. I eat 2 boiled eggs with a packet of mayonnaise, toast, Greek yogurt, and a cup of coffee. And with dinner, I always add on like grapes or something. Breakfast, I turn the eggs into a egg salad, not egg salad sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the hospital food, so I always order a cheeseburger with tomato, pickles, and onions, and a bag of chips, and a side of cottage cheese. And that's what I've eaten for like a week. So yeah, the ramen I buy, it's red coconut curry. It's not super spicy because I can't eat a lot of spices anymore. It's nice, mild, has a coconut flavor to it. It costs like 75 cents for a package of ramen, which is insane when you're talking about ramen, but you get what you pay for.
And once again, the conversation on games has gone to food.
Yeah. But cheeseburger, I love cheeseburgers, but cheeseburgers now on 2 days a week they have spaghetti for lunch at the hospital, and their spaghetti is actually pretty good because it's hard to mess up spaghetti. It really is. You get some pasta, you put some freaking tomato and meat sauce on it, and you're down. And the day I was going to have spaghetti, they put me on clear liquid diet for the next 24 hours, 10 minutes before lunch. And I'm like, I'm having vegetable broth and Jell-O. So, yeah, food is important. I was on a clear liquid diet for 3 days.
So we ordered our shirts,
I
and
assume that somebody ordered 2 of each.
I didn't know they had long sleeves. That made my son's day because he hates short sleeve t-shirts.
They have long
And I
sleeves.
noticed
They have hoodies. They have baseball T-shirts. They have everything, man. I mean,
yeah, I noticed they also have, like magnets and stickers and things like that, and
coffee
they got all
mugs.
kinds of cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a logo designed for me and the boy and get some stuff on that site. What did you have to do to get it all set up? Just send them an image.
Yeah, just put an image. I had to enlarge the images because the images do have to be enlarged, which is really easy to do on your computer. You send it to them, you submit it. They will say yes or no, and they always say yes. Look at the freaking pictures I've got. And some of them, like mine, are adult-only images. So, it won't be shown to a bunch of kids, which, the only kids I want wearing my logo around anywhere are my kids. My children, and there you go. You don't make any money off of it. I think you make like $1 or $2 off of a t-shirt, which they're supplying everything, which is fine. And like I said, all the money I'm making is going to the Wounded Warrior Project, so I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for
me. It's just a way to I guess advertise and to show your support and things like that.
I just think it's awesome to have people out there wearing t-shirts with my face on it.
Well, just so you know, my son, he wanted the other image of you.
The afro?
Yep. Yeah.
That's a great image. That's the one that DM James likes the most.
Well, yeah, that's the one he remembers. He was there. But my son just saw that. I'm like, which image do you want? He's like, that one, of course. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. I'll get the Barbarian. And we're gonna wear him. We're gonna wear him on the show as soon as they get here.
Bruce has a afro shirt. He loves it.
Yep. Mages, you should do the same thing, man. I definitely wear Mages Musings t-shirt.
One step at a time.
Mages, if you put out a t-shirt with that puppet on it, I'd wear the hell out of it.
I'm thinking about plushies as well at some point. A little Demulus plushie and a wizard plushie.
Yeah, so, I can't believe it.
I not only would I wear them, I'd put the plushies in the background of our channel, dude.
Man, I can't believe that I was the talk of New Year's Eve, which my birthday was New Year's Day. That was freaking awesome.
Yep. It's funny. I've got another friend whose birthday is the same day as yours, and I haven't heard from him in weeks. And he's dying to get on the show on Saturday nights. And I'm like, well, where the hell are you, man? But he's not as much of a gamer as most of us. He hasn't actually gamed in a bunch of years, but he used to be one of my best players.
And let him know that he's welcome on this show anytime.
Yeah. Well, you'll meet him on Saturday. Hopefully he'll be on this Saturday. It's just that I've got a lot of people who want to be on the show, and I've got to rotate people. And
I have a
yeah. Yep, you and my son, obviously, and that only leaves me 3 other spots, even though he and I could share a screen, but oh no, he's too big a boy for that. He's got to have his own.
Like freaking TFG said earlier, it's like, how the hell do I have 1,000 subs? I don't put out any content, and the content that I do put out has no content to it. And TFG, the Fat Gamer, is like, dude, it's charisma. You have a high charisma. It's like, yeah, charisma.
Well, your brother, you got to admit, your brother helped out a lot. I mean,
my brother did help out a lot. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for my brother.
Yeah, and he helped out my channel as well. Him and Bruce and Max, those 3 guys, got us. We were at 170 when I first met you guys.
Yeah, I want to get you. I want to get you to thousands of subs. You put out great content. I don't put out shit that's worth watching. I put out silly shit like this today. I'm surprised that so many people have watched and commented on my show, because I don't really put out shit. We don't talk about nothing. The conversation goes everywhere. It's like every stream that I do is a chill stream. You put out quality videos. Your shit actually has substance to it. I want to get you to have more subs than I do, because your show is worth it. your videos are worth it.
Well,
It's-
you gotta realize in the beginning, the American flag put us on a list. If you watch our original videos, we did the videos at the dinner table, and behind us was the big old American flag, and that instantly put us on one of the lists that YouTube, considers channels they don't want to promote. And we did that for a year until we moved into the studio, and we still have flags in the background. So, eventually, hopefully that list thing will wear off, or it's a permanent thing and will always be, marred by it. But we're not going to change. We love our country, and
change.
that
you need the subs without changing. Your show is worth it. Like I said, now I'm going to start upgrading my stuff. I'm going to get a ring light because DM James told me I needed to buy these things, so I'm going to. I'm going to buy a ring light.
I gotta say, it looks like every time I watch you, man, it looks like you are in like where the wild things are. The boys' tent. It's got that whole look to it, doesn't it, Mage?
Yeah.
That's my bedroom. It's awesome.
I can't help but thinking, you're in your little blanket tent in your room. You know what I mean? It's got that whole look to it. But Sean's channel has got some freaking epic star ability too, man. Sean, I freaking love your channel.
We need to get you up there. We need to get all of us to high subs. Like I tell my guys every time that they watch, which if you're sub to me and you're not sub to Shadow and Sun and Mage's Musings, what the hell's wrong with you? My stuff's silly. Sub to them. I had my daughter sub to you, Shadow.
Really? Thank you very much.
I did everything I could. I think one of my daughters is like your 500 or your 499th sub.
That's cool because I know who my 500 was because I was watching it like a hawk, and now we're at 529, like 2 weeks later. So we'll get there. If we could get there by August, if we could actually hit 1,000 by August, that would be our 3-year anniversary, and that would be freaking. That would make our freaking year. But if it takes longer, it takes longer.
Jack is just a joy to watch. He is freaking hilarious. I love Jackie.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
And you put out great stuff. Your videos are really, really good. I really like the Why We Play the Game videos.
Yep. Thanks. That's I'm going to be doing more. I just don't want to do them on the things that are going on right now. Yeah. And, Friday, they're going to drop all the freaking, the facts, the actual what's really going to happen. And then for the next couple of weeks, I mean, I literally can't turn on YouTube without seeing every other video about it. I don't care. I'm not going to buy Wizards of the Coast books. I never bought Wizards of the Coast books. And I'm going to keep on keeping on. Why?
I just want you guys to be happy and successful this year. That's my wish.
Oh, we're already there, dude. Hitting 500 was the point that everybody in my household had to acknowledge the fact that, we're not just, making home movies, we're doing something that people enjoy, and we're showing people new stuff, and we're going to get back to more of the crafts starting tomorrow. We took a break from it because we had house guests for 10 days during the holidays, and my son just couldn't. What is that?
It's a little stuffed otter that I've had for about 10 years or so. It's my good luck charm.
Oh, my boy's my good luck charm, man. As long as he's around, everything's great.
Yeah.
We're going to get back more into the crafting because, there are a lot of crafters out there, but not in our community. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
DM James, Wylock, Broken Terrain. These are great freaking crafters, but you never hear them on these shows. Nobody ever talks about them. Everybody else is just about, maybe painting the miniatures, maybe, other products, obviously games, but, it's never about, the tools, the paint, just the crafting side of it. There are a lot of people out there that don't even play anymore, but they're still painting miniatures, buying miniatures, doing the things, and, this year with what Wizards is doing, might be a great year to get back into some of your board games or your war games. You know, maybe pull out Ogre every once in a while, or you know,
next time I go over to James's house, we're going to play some 40K.
right. I'm you know, I'm not gonna you know, give you too much shit for that. I can't afford it. You know, I mean, I can.
That's
but
how
I
you
can't.
keep your kids. That's how you keep your kids off drugs, man. You introduce them in the 40K.
Oh, dude, my
any-
son hates drugs with a passion. That's never going to happen.
They won't have any freaking money to spend on drugs.
We've got a games workshop. We've got a games workshop a block from my house, and I only go there to buy like one thing, and that's Valhalla and Blizzard snow effect paint, and that's it. You know, I go in, I say hi to the guy, you know, talk for a little bit, and then out of there.
All right, guys. Well, it's coming up on. It's over an hour and 15 minutes. So,
oh wow!
Shadow, give your elevator speech.
Check out our channel, Father and Son Shenanigans. Many times a week, almost something on the channel every day of the week for you guys to hopefully enjoy. But mostly the evenings, my son and I get together and just, you know, goof off and you know, show you guys new tips and tricks on enjoying the hobby or the hobbies, because you know we do a lot of things besides just RPGs, board games, war games, crafting, terrain making. Just, you know, good old-fashioned, wholesome father and son shenanigans. Hope you guys will stop by and enjoy. Mage, take it away.
Oh, let me get the voice going here. Yes, hello, it is I, Mr. Gandaldor. Come, watch Mage's Musings. Some fun recaps, theory crafting, and you get to watch me avoid getting eaten by a demi-lich. Whew. Nasty fellow. Yes.
God, I love Mage's Musing. All right, guys, you know who I am. You're watching my show. I will be back Friday at noon with Shadow, correct?
Yeah, so freaking Luli.
You guys are always welcome on my show. Please like, subscribe, check out. If somebody's on my show and they have a YouTube channel, check them out. They're worthwhile. I mean, shit. Yep, if they did, absolutely. If they weren't cool, they wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? So check it out. Hey. Everybody be safe. Have a great new year. I know I'm having a good new year. I'm as healthy as I'm expected to be. I'm still kicking, fellas. So keep on watching.
Keep on kicking.
Hey,
or keep on watching.
Say hey to your brother for us. We miss him.
I'm going to call him today.
Yeah, tell him we miss him, man.
Yeah, and on that note, God bless everybody. Have a great day, and I will catch you Friday.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Later, bud.
It's always good.